Well, good afternoon or good evening if you're in the beautiful USA, and if you are overseas, it's already late at night or super Saturday morning for you. I am Bruce, also known as the guy in the blue shirt here on LinkedIn, and my method is simpler, faster, better. And I've just been chatting offline with Tracey, who's still at work in Redmond, Washington. So, hi, Tracey. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to talk about your very intriguing content around limitless potential.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am developing an amazing program called the Man-Woman Experience. We have our first cohort coming up at the end of March. I'm also an artist and a comedian on
Mm-hmm.
Clubhouse. So those are things I love and am passionate about. I've worked in research for many years also. And yeah, I love art and science and psychology.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy living out the things I'm passionate about and helping other people do the same.
Yeah. It's always amazing, and I love it when we're kind of unscripted other than a theme. And I always find my guests were more alike than we are disalike. So you hit upon
Mhm.
it's amazing how that works. And it's funny
Yeah.
that, I'm the man and you're the woman. You got the man woman experience going here. So, all right. Kenny D's in the house. Kenny's a regular. Philip Davis is in the house. He's a regular.
Hi,
So,
guys.
thank you guys. Yeah. LinkedIn user. I'm not sure who that is. So, we'll find out. If you're a LinkedIn user and you've got your settings to be private, then just say who you are. So how long have you been working towards the man-woman experience? Tell us a little bit about the trajectory of that and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah. It was about 4 or 5 years ago that I felt like I needed some personal development in my
Mm-hmm.
life.
Right.
I had thought about doing personal development for years, and yet I just would put it off. Oh, I don't have the money, or it was usually around like paying for a course that was
Mm-hmm.
not cheap.
Right.
So it came to where I was actually, in pain. You know what I mean? I was like, I know I need like a little bit more skills. There was something I was missing in regards to self-awareness and learning more about myself. So
Mm-hmm.
for better relationships. So that
Right.
was what led me to this work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't expect to become a relationship educator at that time until I was actually probably about 6 or 8 months into
Mm-hmm.
the course that I was taking. And I was so moved. That is something I talk about on LinkedIn. Seeing men breaking down, crying on the stage, and being vulnerable about like just seeing how the emotional life of men for the first time, being completely transparent, opened my heart, like broke my heart really for several days. I was pretty broken over seeing something so compelling
Mm-hmm.
because I had no idea. Society puts limits on, the way men are supposed to show up in the world. So
Yeah.
that's why that became work that mattered to me. Is there's a disconnect between men and women that I want to make a difference and an impact in helping people to come together towards
Right.
each other instead of apart. So that's what I do.
Awesome. So again, I always am so intrigued by we're more alike than we are disalike, and my history was I came from a very um, frugal and very poor family, but I'm the only guy in a total sisterhood. So I had four sisters, a mom, and a grandmother, and my father was absent most of the time. So there are pluses and minuses in that, but one of them was still even in that strong sisterhood. The plus side of it is my intuition is pretty off the charts, which is interesting because some men don't have really good tuned in intuition. But on the other side of it, as the guy in the family I wasn't supposed to be,
Yeah.
emotionally out there or emotionally available, and I was seen as like weak when I cried, or
Mm.
so we kind of retune ourselves to deal with that. And now I did leave. I left home when I was 15 for all sorts of good reasons, and I'm so glad I did. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's I actually am able to show emotion probably for the first time in the last 5 years, truly, and not really worry too much about what people say, think, or do as a result of that. But so
Mhm.
it's taken a long time. It
Yeah.
really.
I feel like that is part of limitless potential, is coming to the point where you're brave enough to live out your life in an authentic way, like fully
Mm-hmm.
stepping into that, and not caring anymore about mom and dad, or what other people think. We let stories run our lives quite a bit, and so it's like stepping through to the other side of that
Right.
and being able to live, be our most magnetic in the world, the way that we walk through the world.
I agree, and it's funny because I've gone goosebumpy because I have a flood of memories coming back. But the one thing about unlimitless potential, my father always used to try and make an example of me, because I kind of made the error of working for him in an all male environment at one time, and so as the boss's son, he said it was being sarcastic, but actually it was ridiculing me and drawing out my weaknesses in front of people. And I've never forgotten, I was working at one of his machines one day and things weren't going well, and he had some isms as well that didn't actually help him either. So he came back from he'd obviously been drinking at lunchtime. He came back from lunch and came out to where I was, and he just like berated me, saying, you're not ever going to be anything, and yada yada yada. And so that whole script that I learned, that I was like 14 years old, and I was going to high school, working for him, and trying to assist in an all-female household. It was pretty interesting. And those scripts run long and hard and deep, and so for years and years and years, I always used to think, oh, I'm not going to become anything. And so part of that first step is I dropped out of high school thinking I wasn't going to become anything, which fortunately was a mistake, and I realized it was a mistake. So I went back to high school begging to come back, and they said, well, yeah, you can come back, but you got to do 2 years worth of work in one, because I'd missed a whole bunch of time. So
Mhm.
so yeah, it's amazing how those scripts that are taught to you and said to you early on in your life make such a big difference, for sure.
Yeah, they can run our lives and the choices that we make. Our self confidence, our self esteem is impacted by
Right.
these things, and there are ways to break through.
Hmm.
And there's so many people in the world that don't even know how.
Right. Well, I'm right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm kind of lucky because I got given this by a networking connection, this persona of the guy in the blue shirt. So what what I've learned to do in the last couple of years is kind of run, I guess, some of my lessons learned or different scripts. I run him through the persona of the guy in the blue shirt, and then eventually it becomes you. So
Mhm.
so I'm lucky in that way, and some people might think that's kind of weird, but that's the way I do it. And it it's amazing how much confidence and how much self belief you can rebuild when you do that.
Mhm.
So
Definitely.
does Tracy have a persona that she runs some of her new scripts through?
Comedy.
See, I figured it was either your artistic nature or your comedy. So
Yeah.
who's your favorite comedy script?
I love sarcasm a lot, and
Mm.
I love this kind of deadpan, like sketch comedy is really fun. So just to like make people laugh means everything to me. And to inspire, I love to be inspired, but I also love to inspire people through my art as well.
Yeah.
And through words, through the man-woman experience. I inspire people to be more, be brave. I mean, it's just like, that's my whole life.
Yeah, isn't it amazing when you can actually feel how you can help light somebody else up, right?
Yeah.
So do you have a character for your female funny girl?
We give terrible advice and we're experts.
Yeah, but does she have a name? I mean, obviously my persona is the guy in the blue shirt. Does Tracey have what's your persona's name? The comedy Tracey.
Oh, I'm Tracey Becca.
Yeah, I know, but are
Yeah.
you,
I'm,
do you
I'm Tracey Becca there too. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if you were tacky Tracey or,
I
bullshit
play with
Becca or something.
I do little like skits and things, Bruce, on like TikTok and Instagram reels where I get to play somebody else and do
Right.
like comedy skits.
Okay,
But yeah, it's just like fun.
sure. So what's your TikTok channel? Mine's at Simpler, Faster, Better, which is my method. So,
It's Tracey Becca,
oh,
and
okay.
I want to just say it's not like a super LinkedIn, it's comedy. So I'm all over the place with
All
like
right.
the silliness. So yeah, I love it. Like I love being able to have like all of me, and showing up in every way that I am, not just the professional person, but like all aspects of
Right.
my sense of humor.
Are you connected to Diana Nguyen?
What now?
Are you connected to Diana Nguyen
I
over
don't
in
know
Australia?
her. Do we need to meet?
Yes, I will introduce you because
Okay.
funny, 2019, I met Diana Nguyen in a LinkedIn local in Los Angeles through Brian Schulman. And Diana, I always used to think there was two Bruces before I had the guy in the blue shirt persona. And listening and watching and really learning from Diana, she did kind of a 15-minute workshop with us where she uses a lot of humor and dancing, but I so vividly remember that, she asked me a question when I was saying, well, I don't really know what to do, and I'm shy and I'm introverted. And she said, Bruce, how many bodies do you have? And I said, one. And she said, there's your answer. just just figure out how to be yourself. You can be all these different personas. And so I love the fact that you're articulate and transparent about having different channels for the different parts of you. But at the end of the day, we are one person, we're one body, we're one mind, we're one soul, we're one heart. And the other thing is we only have one time. And that's what a lot of people, they give up that ability to make the most of their time and don't do the things that they really want to do because those scripts hold them back, or that's what I found.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I was one of those people. And I feel like with COVID, I just, here we had to look at, death in the eye and, start thinking about what do I really want? What do I really care about? Like, how do I want to up level my life and not be like afraid anymore? Or what are people going to think of me? And, all of those little things of showing up on video on social media, just like all of the things. So I just slowly started to create this new world,
That's
on
brave, very brave of you. All
video
right.
and being
All right.
brave.
Kenny D's doing his stuff, so go back and look at the comments. Anthony Reed, hi. Anthony's another regular. And then you have a Senor Payasada. Anyway, they're a fan of yours for sure.
Hello.
I don't know. Did I say that right? Senor or I'm not sure. You'll have to help. I'm not real good at reading and talking and listening. That's
Same here.
right. Yeah. Well, that's pretty. I'm glad you're on TikTok because it's funny. I get a lot of kind of bad press on TikTok. They call me all sorts of things like, I'm too old to be there and grandpa and all sorts of things. It's like, hey, you can call me all you want, but hey, I have the experience to not care about what you want to call me. But so I'm on TikTok for a very strategic reason and everything. pretty much everything I do with intention is strategically done and thought through. So,
Yeah, I
so
think
go
part
ahead.
of it, Bruce, I feel like part of like social media that I find really, I'm a disruptor in life. Like I love the idea of, let's go against default culture. We don't have stories about that. Like let's break those paradigms.
Well, it's really
So,
interesting you should say that, because I've been working with a branding niching coach. Her name's 𝒕𝒊𝒗𝒆, and she said to me, "Bruce, you're way too tame. You need to get way more disruptive." So this week I've been trying to get outside of my comfort zone and really get. And I'm not a good writer either, so I have to think it through. And anyway, so I did send off my first video thing for production. We'll see if it comes out more disruptive, but that's the goal anyway. She said you just need to be, because in person, when I get to know somebody, I'm pretty off the charts. So
I love it.
all right. Oh, Alexandria is not feeling too well, but she even hopped on. Hey, Familia from Ohio.
Hi.
She is an amazing. So if you don't know Alexandria, you need to as well.
I'm excited. Yeah, I want to meet her.
Yeah, Kennedy is in Texas, so in Sugar Land, Texas. So yeah, and I'll introduce you to Diana. I think because Diana's also a comedian, and she has a show called The Snortcast. Because every time she really laughs, she snorts all the time. So she's created that, and yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, she's an amazing comedian, singer, creator, public speaker. She's one of those people that seems to have everything, and I'm always in awe at what she does. It's like, oh my God, it's like, how do you do all that?
Oh wow, that's awesome.
It is. Well, it's funny because our theme is limitless potential. We all have it in us. It's just, can we find either the right motivation, or can we find the right weakness or the right coach or mentor to draw that out of us? And so I don't know about you, but yeah, talk about a self-development journey, because I am a behavioral introvert off the charts. And yeah,
I feel like for me, it's not just a mindset thing that I've learned to achieve, but I also have a lot of support, and I also meditate to get there. So those are other tools I have in my toolbox as well. Yeah, excellent self-care. Huh?
I'm sorry, there's a slight delay. Finish.
Oh, okay. Just like I've come to realize through discipline and practice of just that, the limits I place on myself are the limits that I have. So it's up to me. It's up to me to, make that change. Human nature is, kind of like victims and perpetrators is something we learned in society too. So it's breaking through and making the choice to live your best life.
Yeah.
Not choose, those kinds of things.
I think you're going to love the people in the audience. All of them have an amazing story. And
Wow.
Alexandria actually has her approach is called SPICE, SPICE. And she's a believer in many of the things you just mentioned. And yet she's an RN. And so it makes her very special. And then Kenny's, he works for the MD Anderson Center, so he provides an amazing service. And
wow.
Anthony runs an organization called Kidney Trails, so he's in that arena. So I'm not sure about Senor's background, but yeah, so a lot of good people in the feed. And if you're watching this as a replay, you can still put questions in for Tracey or I to answer. And I'm sure Tracey will share her pearls of wisdom upon you, or not.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
All right. So I'm always intrigued. What's the funniest thing that you've come up with or observed between the man-woman experience?
Oh, the funniest thing?
Or yeah, funniest thing, or well, we'll do funniest, and then we'll do quirkiest, and then we'll do the thing that left you speechless. How about that? We'll do what's the funniest thing you've come up with since doing the man-woman experience?
That's a good question. It's usually a more serious type of practice. Like it's very somatic and about being like super present.
Right.
I do have comedians coming to me now to take my class, which is fun. I'm
Cool.
surprised because we have that connection, you know.
Right.
So one fun thing is they'll send me their YouTube videos and be like, "What do you think? Do you like my comedy?" You know, it's like fun to have that special connection.
Right.
To be able to be on Clubhouse late night performing and people get that I can be both, you know, a relationship educator and like a really funny person too at
Okay.
night. So yeah, it's like it creates even more of a bond.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Absolutely. So, what's the most memorable result in the last 4 years? What would
of
be your
of my
number?
practice.
Yes.
Yeah, probably like I just the most I can't talk too much about it because of
Oh, I understand.
confidentiality, but
In
like
generalistically, just yeah.
yeah, just being able to create a spark in consciousness is like the most rewarding thing in the world. When I see someone light up and they actually get like something in their body instead of like popping into their brain that is new, like emotional intelligence
Right.
that they didn't know about, like, oh, I had a boundary issue I wasn't saying no to, or, you know, like things that they discover about themselves. And then it like changes a pattern in their lives. Like, I
Mhm.
can't ask for more.
Right.
Like, I've gone through the process myself on, you know, and it, for a couple years, it was just ongoing transformation. It's nonstop because I was in it. And I'm not saying it's for the faint of heart. I mean, it's not always easy, you know, every moment. But if you know how to navigate it, then it gets easier
All right.
because feelings aren't facts.
Yeah.
Feelings
Oh,
are, they pass, they come and go. You know, so there's just things you learn. And I love creating that spark for other
awesome.
people.
Yeah. I call those people bright eyes. Anyway, Sonora, thanks. He shared his background, so we'll be able to look at that. I can't read it all, but we'll.
Nice.
Yeah. So thanks for doing that. And yeah, I actually call those in my field of work. It's almost similar. I call those bright eyed people. You know, they go from dull eyes to bright eyes, and
Mm.
it's almost an instant change when you really and you can actually feel it as well as see it because I'm one of these kind of strange people that can sort of kind of read people's energy. So I know
Yeah.
when they're on, off, or kind of in between.
Mhm.
So, so what was the most surprising thing you found out about yourself?
Um, Gosh, let's see. There's so
The one
many.
you can talk about at least.
Yeah, about myself.
Yeah.
Um, let's see.
Or unexpected. Surprising
Um,
or unexpected.
Probably meeting people that I never thought I would meet before that I didn't understand. You
Like,
know,
can
like
you give an example? Like,
it's kind of a funny thing to say on LinkedIn, but kind of like people that were a little like liberal in
mm,
their personal lives. I'll just
right,
say that because I was in school in San Francisco, so that
right,
was new to me to be
sure.
like, wow, you know, I've never. And then finding out, just like I had a terrible thing happen when I was down there, and I had identity theft, and
Oh,
uh, you know, here I was like just going, oh my god, I can't use my credit card, and I'm traveling right now, you know.
right.
And then who was there for me the entire time just to make sure I was okay, and like it
Yeah,
was all the people I didn't expect that were completely just like, are you okay? Do you
right.
need anything,
Yeah.
just like, don't worry about it. We're going to help you.
I
And
know.
just like, I learned a lot about my own sheltered points of view that were not correct.
Yeah, it's called peeling that kind of conscious onion, right? When you
Yeah.
peel
Yeah.
the layers away, you often there's a bunch of crying, and then there's a bunch of joy, and all
Yeah. And I
stuff in.
learned how to like not villainize or make men perpetrators. Like, I mean, I wasn't doing that much, but I have seen it a lot with women, and I learned a lot about that too.
Yeah.
And making that complete shift and seeing things in a new way.
Yeah, having come from an all-female household, I know exactly what that's like.
Not
Especially when
everybody
they
is
have,
all,
huh?
it's like not all of us are all one thing, like it's not black and white. There's
Right.
shadows. We've all got them. And when we learn not to project that on each other, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a self exploration that takes us to get to the point where we have a higher consciousness
That is
about.
so true. But again, my sisters used to be merciless with me. They would gang up on me about, you know, and I realized after a while that I had to have 6 right answers because, a grandmother, mother, 4 sisters, they all had a view of what the right answer from, the boy in the family or the guy in the family should be. So I figured, so every time there was a moment or a opportunity for improvement, I should put it, I will always have to have 6 versions of the same opportunity for improvement.
Oh
Otherwise,
my gosh.
I know. Yeah. And then lots of other things. And it's funny because after a while, we kind of shifted our relationship around after, I started to meet them halfway with that. And then we got to the extreme where we would have family night out on a Thursday night, which was normally payday, and we would all go out drinking and dancing and getting thoroughly, drunk as a skunk, and then coming home. So, so it went from, being, ooh, we can't talk about that in front of Bruce because he's the brother, he's the ugly brother. So, yeah, so amazing.
That's awesome, Bruce.
Yeah, we had some moments. Yeah, I think one of the funniest moments is my mom didn't drink very much, so she was pretty light, and I don't know what it was. She was just in one of those moods, and it was near the holiday season. Well, my mom got so inebriated. The only way we could get her home is we put her in a shopping cart. So we put her, and we're walking her home. And that was before they had the electronic locks on there, and we're working them home. And of course, we're almost home, and these couple of police guys that are walking the street came up and said, what's going on here? Because my mom's like, just doing her thing, but they let us off. But the amazing thing, when we got home, she was actually stuck in the shopping cart. So she got so relaxed that she kind of relaxed into the wire mesh of the shopping cart. So we had a heck of a job getting her out of the shopping cart. It was amazing. Oh well.
That's crazy.
Fun moments of Thursday night outs as a family. So, but you probably couldn't do that these days. I don't know. Probably couldn't.
You'll laugh your whole life about that one,
Oh yeah, yeah. And then the other extreme is she used to counsel me. She used to love to sit on a swinging bench, and I have one from that memory still. And she would love to sit with hot tea and tender her flowers in the garden. So whenever she used to say to me, "Hey," and she didn't call me boy. She didn't call me Bruce because I was the only boy in the family. So she said, "Hey, boy, come over and have tea." I knew I was in trouble when it was like,
I love that.
"Hey, boy, come and have a cup of tea with me." So it's like, oh, here we go. What have I done now?
You're reminding me, my grandpa, he would be like, "Woman," and you look at him and he go, "You're beautiful. You don't need all that makeup. You don't need."
Well, it was usually come have tea. I was usually in big trouble. So or small trouble. Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Senors adding to the conversation. Thank you. Oh, they know Kenny as well. All right, Kenny and Senor are networking like crazy. I love it.
Awesome. We love
You
networking.
never know on a live stream what's going to happen. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it's been. LinkedIn is incredible. Just like meeting the most awesome people.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, it is amazing. And I was catching up on some of your posts and some of the comments and some of the sisters and brothers that you have out there virtually. It's amazing.
Thanks.
All right. So what's coming up for you? I mean, obviously you're in Seattle area
Yeah.
and working, but what's coming up for you in the next couple of months ahead, Tracey?
So my partner in business is Chad Seps,
Uh-huh.
and he lives down in San Jose. So we are virtually teaching this class,
Cool.
and he is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. Like I couldn't ask for more in, partnering up with someone to build a company. So we just are so excited to start on
Mm-hmm.
March 26th for
Awesome.
our first man woman experience together. We have, I think, about 3 more slots left at
Mm-hmm.
this time. And then we'll do a cohort in April too. But that's what we have coming up.
So how do people, is that through the website there, manwomenexperience.com?
Yeah. If you want to check it out, if you have questions, please feel free to follow, connect,
Mm-hmm.
message me, you know, all
Right.
of those things.
And how long is the first cohort? Is it a one-time deal or a multiple session?
This will be a membership. So what we want to do is have people take the class, but then they have access to videos and content and us too, if they want to continue, have questions. We all have things come up in our lives or,
Mhm.
we get triggered and we need to navigate and work through something. And so, you know, we help with all of those things.
Yeah, the triggering is always the unplanned and unpredictable, and you can't control it. So,
Yeah, it happens almost every day, really, to
right,
us.
especially from external sources. We live in a busy, high speed, low attention span environment right now. So,
Oh my goodness, yes.
yeah. All right. Well, cool. So, yeah. So, if you're watching this as a replay, again, you can put your questions or comments in here. I will go back, and I know Tracey will as well too. If you have any questions and we miss them, because I'm not real good at reading the comments and staying focused on Tracey either, so we'll go back and
Yeah,
answer them, and
I
then
will too. I'll
yeah.
look through them also.
All right. Well, hang a minute. I'm going to do my little standard outtake, my little selfish plug. It's only short. It's only 20, so don't go away.
I would.
So, what if your processes do not work well? Did you know you can save or eliminate massive amounts of wasted steps, time, money, or other resources? Bruce can show or teach you how. Take the next step. Visit his website at processcleanup.com and book a casual yet confidential call with Bruce. It just might change your world forever.
All right. So,
Awesome.
Trina Poole is a LinkedIn connection. She's got a way better voice than me. So,
Oh, Alexander, yeah, you're so sweet. We're gonna talk.
yeah, she is so chill. That's right. So I'm usually pretty good at using my intuition on knowing who to connect to. So I've been pretty successful at that. So thank you, everyone. Kenny, Senor, Anthony, Alexandria, who else? LinkedIn user, Philip Davis, and of course, Tracey. So thank you, Tracey. And if you just
My
hang a
pleasure.
minute, I'll let you know how you're going to get everything. Good night, everyone.
Good night.